Hello Summoners and welcome back to another ProGuides mid-patch update. My name is Kellen and today I will be going over all of the strongest champions using fresh statistics to give you the best and most accurate tier lists available. We encourage all of our viewers to comment on these lists and say if you agree or disagree with us on specific champion placements. There were a ton of changes made since the start of patch 9.23 and our analysts and partnered pro players are so excited to bring you the best and most accurate tier lists available today. Also guys, today's question of the day is which champion do you think is the most low-key broken during the preseason? My answer, of course, is going to be Heimerdinger. Although he doesn't have the highest play rate, he's still an insanely powerful champion with the new Conqueror, and I've been having a ton of fun with him. And as always, let us know your answers down below in the comments to our question of the day. And guys, since Season 10 is about to start in a couple of weeks, make sure that you go check out ProGuides.com to improve at League of Legends. Using our website, you can make sure that you have a strong start in Season 10 and reach your dream rank within a couple of weeks. ProGuides.com is the best proven way to get better at League, and we have thousands of guide videos similar to this one. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description down below, pick up a Challenger coach, and use the preseason downtime to start learning more about League of Legends. Now with that stuff being said, let's jump into the mid-patch update. To make sure you guys are caught up to speed, let's first go over the hotfix buffs and nerfs that were made during this patch cycle already. Firstly, Ezreal received a buff to his base HP, base mana, mana regen, and Q damage from 15 to 115 scaling to 20 to 120. Listen, his win rate pretty much took a skydive this patch due to the removal of Kleptomancy, which was of course his most favored rune, and he's honestly in a pretty bad spot now. Sorry, Dan. Next up, Sanguine Blade has been hotfix nerfed to now grant 20 to 80% attack speed scaling instead of 40 to 100, and also the combined cost has been increased by 100. Although this nerf is pretty big, the item is still broken, so we will have to continue playing League of Sanguine until at least the next couple of weeks. Lastly, Omnistone has been buffed slightly by reducing the cooldown between keystones by 1 second at all ranks for both melee and ranged champions. Now that we got those changes out of the way, let's start with the top lane. Our top lane list is going to see a lot of changes in the mid-patch. In the S+ tier, we have two members who are Garen and Mordekaiser. For Mordekaiser, his win rate has been going up ever since Conqueror got reworked at the start of the preseason, and now Mord is one of the best melee champions to use this new rune with, and he's become a clear favorite among a lot of solo laning top laners. Garen, on the other hand, has always been in the S+ tier, and he will continue to remain there for the preseason, and this is mainly due to Garen's ability to finally fully stack Conqueror using just his E, which of course makes him really strong. In S tier, we have Fiora, Kled, Darius, Ryze, Renekton, and Kayle, and we welcome a new member, Ornn. Surprisingly, Ornn has been doing very well recently in the top lane, and he's actually the third best top laner in the game. Tanks, of course, have been making a comeback due to the removal of Kleptomancy and the true damage part of Conqueror, which totally plays into Ornn's favor. In addition, Ornn has been receiving a lot of buffs over the past few months, and they finally have caught on. So you should definitely give him a try because those buffs during the last season have caught up with him, and he's a lot stronger than what most people will predict. Other S-tier champions have been S-tier for quite some time, and they shouldn't really come as a surprise to you. Fiora, Darius, Kled, and Renekton have all been doing decently well with the new Conqueror, and the removal of true damage only affects them slightly, especially the ones that already have true damage in their kit. Kayle, on the other hand, has managed to remain in S-tier despite Kleptomancy being removed. Her early game is still too safe, and she can reliably scale into her power spikes while still remaining relevant during the early game. Another S-tier champion that we want to cover is Ryze. Ryze top has little to no weaknesses right now, and everyone should be abusing him as much as possible. He does a ridiculous amount of damage for a champion who's supposed to be weak early game and has way too much wave clear. In addition, his skill cap is a lot lower than the previous iterations of Ryze, which means that he's indirectly become even stronger. If you're looking to add more champions to your top lane pool, then make sure to give Ryze a shot. A few notable A-tier picks that we want to mention are Quinn, Lucian, Tryndamere, and Shen. These four champions are extremely effective with the new Sanguine Blade and become unstoppable in isolated scenarios with this item, and of course that makes them really good in this meta. Alright, time to move on to the junglers. Our jungle list is going to see quite a few changes in the mid-patch update. In S+ tier we have the same, which is Echo and Kha'Zix, but we also welcome a new member with Warwick. Now this one is quite surprising to see because Warwick Warwick has never really been too strong of a champion. However, the meta now favors champions who can clear camps at a high speed, while also being able to clear dragons with ease. This means that champions like Kha'Zix and Warwick are extremely effective in the jungle due to their strengths aligning with the jungle meta. With that being said, it's still kinda unbelievable that Warwick has jumped to the highest win rate in the game at 56%. It just seems like there's something with preseason Warwicks going around the game. Anyway, just give it a try because you won't regret it. Warwick is back to his former self in Season 4. In S tier, we have Nocturne, Shaco, Elise, Olaf, Jarvan 4, Master Yi, Kayn, and Lee Sin. Nocturne has been thriving in the new jungle due to the addition of Sanguine Blade and also the buffs to hard farming camps to level 6. Although the removal of Presence of Mind did hurt him a little bit, he's still just as strong as before, if not stronger, because Sanguine Blade is just insanely broken on him and he can abuse it to clear the camps at lightning speed while also killing anybody who is isolated. Olaf's been moved up into S tier for our mid patch because of the effectiveness due to the early game and mid game for his clearing. He's one of the few champions that can keep up with the new jungle camp timers while also ganking lanes and invading the enemy simultaneously. Olaf is a strong contender to make the push to S+ tier next patch, so make sure you click the sub button to stay notified of the latest meta changes. For Master Yi and Kayn, they have traditionally been in our A tier due to their low impact during the early game, but with the new jungle for Season 10, they've been added to the S tier due to the jungle meta slowing down by quite a bit. These two champions can really afford to hard farm during the early game, and the camp timers being moved down to 2 minutes really allows them to continue to farm up, especially for Kayn to get his form and for Master Yi to get his items. Keep in mind that the early game is still just as bad as ever, it's just more consistent that you will come out, so watch out for enemy invades and try to not contest too many scuttle crabs. Next up, let's run it down mid. The mid lane tier list sees a ton of changes. For the S+ tier, we have two champions, which are Fizz and Nocturne. Nocturne mid has been seeing a lot more play in Korean solo queue and is now a common favorite amongst pro mid laners. This is not a totally new pick. It was pretty strong during Season 9, but it's made its way into S+ due to the addition of the new lethality items, most notably once again Sanguine Blade. It's just that once you purchase the item, it becomes the strongest power spike in your kit, and you can just mindlessly ult on top of the enemy mid for an easy solo kill. Try it out guys, it's insanely broken, and it'll probably get nerfed within the coming weeks, if not Nocturne receiving direct nerfs as well. In S tier, we have Talon, Zed, Echo, Malzahar, Vladimir, Ahri, Ryze, Twisted Fate, and Katarina. All of these champions have been in our S tier before, so none of them should come as a surprise. Again, Ryze is starting to prove just how strong he is this patch by making his way into S tier. His wave clear, burst, safety, DPS, and high stats make him one of the most valuable picks on the Rift, and if this trend continues, he will likely need to receive, oh god, another rework, and that's gonna be a big yikes from me. The AD assassins like Zed and Talon have been doing very well recently, but surprisingly their stats have gone down by a little bit. However, it is a little bit predictable because the new Zed and Talon players trying them out for the first time because of the addition of the new lethality items will cause their play rate to go up and their win rate to go down. Don't worry, they're still really strong because we are playing in a sanguine difference meta. For A tier, we have a few notable picks, which are Cassiopeia and Diana. Diana's win rate has skyrocketed this patch, and that's in large part due to the amount of melee champions being played. Champions like Echo, Zed, Talon, Qiyana, Fizz, Nocturne, Katarina, and Yasuo are all very popular picks who just happen to have a losing matchup into Diana. In fact, her stats are so good right now that she could almost be considered S tier. But keep in mind that Diana is going to be reworked within the next coming months, so make sure to click that sub button to stay notified of that rework because we will definitely be covering it, and the rumors are that her ultimate and her E are going to be swapped. On the other hand, Cassiopeia has become a lot more popular in Korean solo queue right now due to a new combo being discovered. Rek'Sai plus Cassiopeia is the new meta in Korea right now, with the rank 1 jungler Cuz abusing this duo to climb past Dopa for the top spot. Pretty much, there's going to be no way to escape a Rek'Sai gank if you're grounded and then slowed or stunned, so you get free kills mid lane whenever you have your W up. Pick up a duo partner and try this out because it's kind of disgusting. Alright, on to the bottom laners. The bot lane tier list is going to see a ton of changes during this video. In S+, we have Caitlyn, Misfortune, and the new champion in Senna. Senna's win rate in the bottom lane role has been steadily increasing ever since her release, and she's made her way into the S+ tier for AD carries. She currently holds the highest win rate for ADCs in 923, and her ban rate is off the charts at a whopping 60%. In addition, she only has a few counters in the bot lane like Kalista, who is literally one of the worst champions and is not in a good spot right now. For Misfortune, she's made her way into S+ tier thanks to a new Korean build that has been gaining more and more popularity. If you've seen our previous video about OP Korean builds for the new preseason, you would have seen that there are a lot of players rushing 5 Doran's Blades on Misfortune. At a first glance, this might seem really troll, but it's kind of OP. You basically use the HP, damage, and lifesteal from the stacking Doran's Blades to get a huge early to mid game power spikes, and then kind of become unkillable as an ADC who also deals damage. For the S tier ADCs, we have Lucian, Xayah, Jinx, Ashe, Draven, and Kai'Sa. These 6 champions have been in our S tier before, so none of them should really surprise you. However, one A tier champion that we must cover is going to be for Heimerdinger. Heimer in the bot lane is extremely effective at shutting down the meta AD carries. He works as a perfect counter to the meta right now, and on top of that, the new Conqueror works brilliantly with him. The only 2 champions you might want to look out for when playing Heimer are Syndra bottom and Senna, but don't worry because Syndra bot has a very low pick rate and Senna is banned in almost every game. Lastly, for ADCs, we gotta talk about my boy Ezreal dropping down into the C tier, and of course this is because of the removal of Klepto. Ezreal's been left in the gutter and holds a lower win rate than some of the worst ADCs like Kalista. Ezreal mains have been opting to go for Conquer on him, but it just doesn't have the same level of power as Kleptomancy. Ezreal has been hotfix buffed this patch, but it's unlikely that he will return to his former glory in the next coming weeks. And last but not least, let's move on to supports. The support list does have a couple of changes. In S+ tier, we have Senna, Nautilus, and Leona. Senna support is by far the strongest support pick in the game right now due to her very overloaded kit and even more overtuned numbers, and she will definitely receive nerfs without a single doubt in my mind because her win rate, play rate, and ban rate are all insanely nuts. I will admit that this champion is extremely fun, and I think Riot did a good job creating a unique champion who feels satisfying to play, but her numbers are just through the roof. Next up, Leona and Nautilus will remain in S+ tier for another patch due to the changes made to Aftershock. These 2 champions can pretty much engage whenever they want now because Aftershock only has a 20-second cooldown instead of the previous 35. Other champions like Blitzcrank, Pyke, Thresh, and Rakan have been abusing the new Aftershock cooldown as well, so make sure you try out a handful of them. We thought it would be a nerf, but it kind of feels net neutral in some ways as well. In S tier, we have Blitzcrank, Morgana, Thresh, Shaco, Swain, and Pyke. Swain and Shaco are 2 unique picks in the bot lane for support that are criminally underrated. Swain with the new Conqueror is the new wave for Korean supports thanks to his ability to gain 10 stacks with 1 combo, and yes, his pull actually does count towards the Conqueror stacks. One notable pick that actually hasn't been placed in our tier list but is rising in popularity is Zac support. Ever since the bot lane alcoves were added to the game, Zac support has now been stronger than ever. In addition to those, Aftershock having its cooldown reduced clearly plays in his favor. Using the new alcoves, you can make some crazy engages onto your opponents from angles that they are not used to. So make sure you try this out and let us know how that goes because it's kind of cheesy, but maybe it's OP. That's gonna do it for our mid-patch analysis video for patch 9.23 for the preseason of Season 10. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please hit like, comment, and subscribe, and be notified of our next videos. Also, make sure you check out ProGuides.com if you want to see huge improvements in your rank right now. That's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the Rift.